Well, good morning and welcome to a second episode this morning of Holy FaceTime. Um, this morning I was also reading from the Marian Calendar, Our Lady of Candles, and I thought this was just so fascinating that I had to share this with you. So I'm giving another video on this, a second video today. So Our Lady of Candles in 15th century. When the white man came to the Canary Islands for the first time, the natives presented them with a mystery that no one has ever solved, even to this day. The presence on the islands of a statue of Our Lady. The natives had discovered a statue of Our Lady of the Candles in the year 1400, and as it had been found in a cave by two shepherds who had entered the cave seeking refuge from a storm. Neither of them had ever seen a statue before, and so thought it was a living being. The sheep would not enter the cave, seemingly out of fear of the statue. So at first the two shepherds motioned for the stranger to go away. When the statue did not move or respond, one of the men picked up a rock to throw it at it. Instantly his arms stiffened so that he could not move, and his arms began to throb in pain. The other shepherd moved in close to the statue, and although seemed to watch him, yet it still neither moved nor spoke. Puzzled, he took out his knife and tried to cut off its finger, but instead of marking the statue, its own finger received the wound and he had attempted to inflict, and then began to bleed profusely. Terrified, the two men fled the scene, leaving their sheep and everything else behind. The men reported what they happened to their chief, relating their belief that the great god had lived in this cave. And the chief commanded them to bring this being to him. So overcoming their fear, the two shepherds returned to the cave and found the statue had not moved. When first one of them reached out to take hold of it, as soon as he touched the statue, he found that his finger was instantly healed of the wound he received. The men reverently carried the statue to a house where the chief directed and tried to show it honor in the best way that he knew how. A few nights later, they were surprised to hear beautiful music and to see strange beings, all glowing and alight, setting candles around the strange god and lighting them. The natives had never seen candles. A special house was built for the statue, and for 50 years there was beautiful music, light, and a lovely fragrance surrounding the statue that no one could explain. The natives made offerings of fruit and flowers and noted that the light beings kept the candles burning around the crude altar. In 1520, a native boy was captured and taken to Spain, and he returned after a few years and told the natives about Christianity. When the missionaries came, the people were prepared to receive them and the true faith. Christians who had recently arrived and lived on the nearby island recognized whom the statue must represent, and at first they begged the natives of Tenerife to let them have it. And though the pagan natives refused, claiming she had brought them good fortune, the Christians decided to steal the statue of Our Lady of Candles, feeling it was only proper that it should be in the Christian hands. And they succeeded in their plan and brought the statue to their church, setting it on a high altar and surrounding it with burning candles. Returning in the morning, they found that the statue had turned its back to the congregation, and no amount of pulling could get it turned to the front again. And a serious sickness then invaded the island, and repentant and frightened, the Christians took the statue back. Surprisingly, the natives had not noticed that it had even been taken. The incredible explanation was that another statue, an exact duplicate of Our Lady of Candles, had stood in its place during the entire time the original had been taken away. Not surprisingly, devotion to Our Lady of Candles spread rapidly through Spanish countries to South America and to the Philippines. The original statue of Our Lady of Candles was made of a heavy reddish wood, which had never been identified. It is 3.5 feet high. The eyes of the statue seem to follow the beholder, and the color of the cheeks sometimes change. The hair is uncovered, golden, and worn in braids. The babe has a golden bird in its mouth. The babe has a golden bird in its hands, and Our Lady holds a candle in her hand. Since there are no bees on the island, the candles are also a mystery. a few days before the Feast of Candlemas in the year 1497, great quantities of particular pure wax were found at various places on the island. Several times since, the same thing has happened. People gather the wax and save it for pious souvenirs. It is sometimes found in the shape of loaves, weighing 10 or 12 pounds. Another mystery concerns the candle stumps, which even today are found near the cave. Some are set up on the rocks of the beach. Wax and wicks are of a strange materials, which the good people of the neighborhood insist can only have come from heaven. So, wow, quite an interesting story. And I don't know why they picked September 17th, because February 2nd is actually the feast of the Candlemas. And of course, Candlemas represents the presentation of our Lord in the temple. So this depiction of our Lord holding a bird would signify too, that seems to be that the offering which Mary and Joseph gave like 2 turtle doves for the presentation, and also, of course, the purification of Our Lady as well goes along with that. And she's holding a candle, so I'm imagining this would indicate sort of that purification, rite of purification, and also additionally maybe an allusion to today what we do as baptism, right? We hold not stepfather, but the godparents of the child being baptized hold a lit candle during the ceremony, and they keep that candle and pass it back to the family after, anyway, I just thought this was a fascinating story of Our Lady once again. This particular image, and I'll share links to the image, and I don't think the original statue still exists, but they've got a replica or a modern statue that has a similar design. But this particular image of Our Lady of the Candles seems to be quite widespread, especially among the Spanish and Filipino communities, and it's even gone as far as there's replica statues in the U.S., somewhere, I believe, in San Francisco, I think I read. And yeah, lots of these statues around. So it's a very fascinating story. And again, it just provides just the wonderful depth and mystery of the Catholic devotion, and how Our Lady has been always appearing. She shows up everywhere, right? In least expected places, and caves, and being her pictures being dug up from the ground, or surfacing from a storm in the sea, or appearing in a boat, just random places. So it's just fantastic and fascinating how Our Lady loves to show us her love for us and her intercession for us. Until next time, blessed be His holy name. Blessed be the adorable face of our Lord Jesus. Bye now.